My name is Marie King, and this is my testimony. I grew up with two loving parents. My father was very involved in my life, and he was the person that I looked up to. When I entered my early teens, I became rebellious toward my parents, and I put God out of my life. I wanted to do things my way, and I wanted to make my own plans for my life. When I was 13, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and this sent my family into a shock because my dad was active and healthy, and we didn't understand why this would happen. My mom was a Christian, and she had a strong faith in God, and she firmly believed that God was going to heal him, so she prayed continually for him. But I didn't really pray for him because in my mind, daddies don't die. Daddies don't leave their little girls. And I figured he would live to be old and gray, and so I had no worries. But a year later, Daddy died. And the day he died, a huge part of me died. It was like the carpet had been pulled out from underneath my feet, and all my hopes and dreams shattered into a million irreparable pieces. A hole developed inside of me where fear and regret dwelt. I felt fear because the dad who was always there for me wasn't there anymore. I couldn't run to him, and I couldn't tell him that I love him, and I had regret because of the way that I'd acted, and because what I thought was important in life wasn't important at all. It didn't matter. At that time, I took God off the shelf, and I was serious about having him in my life. As the years went on, I tried to grow in my walk with God, but I couldn't get past the fear of losing my dad, the regret of losing my dad, and the fear. It was a monster that controlled me. Even though my mom encouraged me and she prayed for me, I couldn't forgive myself. I was ashamed that I couldn't change or grow out of this. One evening, I was reading my Bible and became attacked with fear, and a thought came to me, why don't you just kill yourself? You'll be like this the rest of your life if you don't. And it made sense. I was at the bottom. I had no hope. I felt like I had no hope. I didn't want to die, and I didn't want to leave my family, but I just didn't want to live bound anymore. So I got a gun, and I got alone in the house, and as I was preparing the gun, I began to cry and ask God, is there hope for me? I can't forgive myself. How can you forgive me? I had my Bible in one hand and the gun in the other hand, and when I put the gun to my head, I accidentally dropped my Bible, and it fell to the floor and opened, and I knelt down in front of it, intending to pull the trigger, but a verse caught my attention, and it was Isaiah 26:12 through 15. And it says, Lord, grant us peace, for all we have and are has come from you. Once we worshipped other gods, but now we worship you alone. Those we served before are dead and gone. Never again will they return. You came against them and destroyed them, and they are long forgotten. Oh, praise the Lord. He's made our nation very great, and he's widened the boundaries of our land. And that got my attention, and it never crossed my mind that God would speak to me like that. As I reread those verses, I began to understand that I was forgiven, and my past and all that it contained, and where I felt like I had failed, was dead and gone. God was ready and waiting to widen the boundaries of my life. He wasn't mad at me, and I wasn't a failure in his eyes. In that moment, light came bursting into the tunnel that I was in, and hope rose on the inside of me. I put the gun away. Now I had a new life to live. A few months later, God spoke to me in my quiet time, and I heard him clearly. He said that he was setting me free from all fear, and that it would not be able to return to me. And from that moment on, I've been free from fear. It's been 5 years, and I'm completely free. Thank you.